AskReddit by rule of 3007. How do you keep your relationship as good as day one? You don't. They evolve into something different. If you chase the honeymoon phase forever, you'll never find contentment. Also, it gets better in many ways. I'm almost 15 years in and I wouldn't want to go back to day one. You don't. You make it better. Sage words from you, rampaging phallus. Never stop dating your partner. You don't need to fake things, but don't take things for granted. Make time to go have fun. Impress each other. Work to make them proud and want to be with you. Try each other's hobbies genuinely, but still let them have their own thing if you're not interested or they need their time. And most importantly, realize that they're going to change and grow, or perhaps even regress, as all people do at times. You can shape, help, and direct that, but you can't control it. Ride the waves, communicate honestly, and you'll be solid. Something I read on here once was called the 2-2-2 rule. If you can afford it, go out for a night every 2 weeks, a weekend every 2 months, and a week every 2 years. It's a great way to keep the dating life alive with your partner. If by better you mean that rush of dopamine and adrenaline you get every time you look at a new partner, the answer is you don't. If by better you mean more loving, stable, caring, and understanding, then day one should be a low point in your relationship. Communicate, grow together as individuals and as a couple, address issues quickly and maturely. If you try to keep a relationship the same as the first day forever, it won't be good. Relationships are like a living thing. You have to give them space to grow into what they'll ultimately become. You can monitor and prune and feed your relationship to try and shape what it will be, but if you try to keep it completely static, it won't last. Regular time apart is underrated. Makes us miss each other and appreciate our time together. Day one, he was a drunk teenager with his own vomit on his shoes, and I was a drunk teenager who thought he was the hottest thing on the planet. We are doing a little better than that in our 40s now, lol. Yay, I think the premise of this question is flawed. Granted, our day one wasn't as extreme as yours, but I'll take day 2872, I checked, over day one, and I'm looking forward to day 5744 more than I'm interested in reminiscing about day one as well. Easy. Make sure you have a shitty first day. Set the bar low. Good relationships get better. I wouldn't want my relationship to go back to day one. Some people only understand excitement, they see no value in comfort and reliability. Comfort doesn't mean no fun, it just means you're having fun in a different way. I may not be skinny dipping in the local river like I did the first day I met my wife, but we are both very excited to put the kids to sleep and get some cuddle time in front of the TV. Skinny dipping every day would lose its charm and excitement. Hanging out with your best friend never does. You can't recreate the feeling you're thinking about, but it will evolve. My love for my wife, when it started, was a flame. Bright, passionate, and wild. We're nearing a decade, and the flame may have dimmed, but the love has evolved into an ocean. Bottomless, calm at times, stormy at others, but endless as far as you can see. She'd call me lame for writing that, and on day one, I may have thought she meant it. But today, if she called me lame, I'd know deep down she'd think it was sweet. I love her for that, more than I could ever have imagined on day one. Also nearing a decade, and would say I agree with everything you've written. Marry your best friend and you don't need wild passion to keep your interest. There is a deep and warming comfort in reliability. Not possible. There are ups and downs in life. Profound. A strong relationship becomes so much better than day one. I have been married for 15 years and love my spouse so much more than I did in the beginning. Our go-to, and it is not easy and took some time to learn to do, is to hug one another when we are fighting. It is our way of acknowledging that even though we are angry, the love is stronger. I also say, I love you, but right now I really don't like you. Sometimes after the hug we don't talk yet because we may need more space time, but it puts our anger into perspective. There comes a point in some marriages where romance is almost viewed as cringy between partners. Once that threshold is reached, there is often no turning back. Don't let that happen. Keep up romantic gestures and signs of affection and love. I think you start by re-evaluating why this would be a goal. Relationships evolve and change with time and experiences. They can get worse at times and better at times. If you're working on it together and are open and things are where you both want them to be, why would it matter if they're the same level of good as day one? I've been with my partner for over 20 years and things are way better now than day one. Every now and then make out passionately in the car. You don't. With work, commitment, communication and mutual respect, it will become so much more. You don't. You just have to make sure it ages like wine and not milk. Compliment each other and flirt. We're always complimenting each other and letting each other know how proud and appreciative of each other we are. We pick a night to order pizza and watch TV like we did on the first date. 420 friendly. It will never be exactly the same and that's completely fine, but it helps to never ever forget about the little things. They're almost as important as the big ones, if not more, knowing that my BF remembers something really specific and does it for me, or says like, oh yeah, I remember when you did this and that. Just don't forget to make them feel seen. Act as though your partner doesn't know how you feel about them. I make her laugh. Can't get worse than day one if you never leave day zero. Constant communication, mutual respect and never taking each other for granted. I would consider my marriage a complete failure if it was only as good as the relationship was on literally the first day I met my wife. Lol. Day one, when you don't really know anything about the other person and have no bonds, ties, history together? Why would you want day one?